Hi gang. I want to give you another opportunity to work some more on operant conditioning. I know it seems simple, but it really is complex. So the game plan right now is to review operant conditioning, the reinforcements and the punishments, and then I have some examples that we're going to go through, and I'll show you how to find the right parts in order to figure out if it's a reinforcement, if it's a punishment, and then from there, which kind it is. So remember, in operant conditioning, reinforcements, both reinforcements, purpose is to increase behavior. Both of the punishments, the purpose is to decrease behavior. Now, the positive reinforcement is applying something pleasant. That's like a reward. Negative reinforcement is removing something unpleasant. That's the escape. Now, the two punishments, applying something unpleasant, which is positive punishment, that's like a spanking. And then removing something pleasant, which is a punishment right there, that is a time out. There we go. All right. So just as a reminder, reinforcements go up, punishments go down. So that way, when you look at the question, that's the first thing you need to figure out. Is this a reinforcement or is this a punishment? And then we can go from there. All right, so the first example we got here, it's pretty straightforward. Every time a child gets into a timeout that involves not participating in a fun activity in order to decrease, here's my word, decrease the behavior the child is experiencing. Now, if you don't know the definition right off the top of your head, because this one's pretty much a straight definition, that's fine. We already know it's a decrease, which means it has to be a punishment, so we can cross out our reinforcements. And then positive punishment is the applying of unpleasant. Negative is removing a pleasant. And right here, they're not participating. It's a removal. So it has to be a negative punishment. Okay, now the next one. With our buddy Max here. Max is ignoring assignments for English, so his parents have him wash the dishes each time his homework or test grade is below a C. And he hates washing the dishes. Max is bringing home fewer English assignments with grades below a C. So we can see right there, that's one of the key words. Fewer, less, that's the behavior that we're interested in. And if it's fewer, it's going down. The behavior's going down, which means, again, has to be a punishment. So we'll cross out our reinforcements. Now, the question is, in order to get his behavior to stop, is he having something unpleasant applied, or is he having something pleasant taken away? And here, have him wash. That's an applying of something, and oh, he does not like it. So we know it's something unpleasant. He's being given something unpleasant. That is a positive punishment. All right. And keep moving on to Janine, who hates listening to her dogs whine. Every time the dogs whine, she gives them a treat to shut them up. As a result, Janine buys dog treats several times a week so she doesn't have to listen to her dogs whining. Now again, operant conditioning, what's happening with Janine's behavior? And the behavior that we see that she is doing is giving dog treats, buying dog treats. And she's buying dog treats several times a week. So that would be an increase. And if it's an increase, of course, that's automatically a reinforcement. Now this increase, is she getting something pleasant given to her or something unpleasant taken away? Is she escaping something? And you can see right here, doesn't have to listen to her dog's whine. So she is getting out of listening to her dog's whine. She is escaping from her dog's whining. Something unpleasant is being removed. So that would be a negative reinforcement. Okay. Coach T runs a tight team and expects all of his student athletes to show up to practice on time. Each time every athlete is ready on time for practice, Coach allows them a choice of where to cool down after practice. His athletes love being able to choose how they cool down after practice, so the on-time attendance for all have increased. Oh, yep, found the word. That's what I want. So now I know since it's an increase, behavior is going up, has to be a reinforcement. So I'm going to cross out my punishments. The question is, are his athletes positive, getting something they like, or are the athletes in a negative, having something they don't like removed situation? And if you can see here, they love being able to choose how they cool down. So they're getting something that they want. So that would be a positive reinforcement. And we'll keep going with Rayanne here, who is a good student in school. She likes getting gold stickers to put on her chart for every time she reads a book. Rayanne is the best reader in class with the most stars. All right, so Rayanne, her behavior in question is reader, reading, and she's the best reader with the most stars. That kind of indicates behavior's going up. So of course, behavior's going up. Has to be a reinforcement. Now, is her behavior going up because she's getting something that she likes? Likes getting the gold stickers. Not getting out of something she doesn't like. It says right there, so that's a positive reinforcement. And these are like 5 examples that would be on a test that I give. So if you feel comfortable with all these 5, you can stop now, because the next thing I'm going to do, hang on, let me pull it over, is another 5 examples. So if you feel confident, you can stop here. If you want a little bit more practice, or you want to see a little bit more of how this is done, I got 5 more examples for us here. Alrighty. So the first one we have here, which is your dog has a skin condition that has her chewing on her back until she bleeds. Your veterinarian gives you a medication to rub on your dog's back that tastes bad. Your vet says that will stop the dog from chewing her back. According to Skinner, how is she being conditioned? Now, the behavior of our dog is the chewing. We want it to stop. Stopping is a decrease. If it's a decrease, that means it's a punishment, so we can cross out our reinforcements. Now, is it something being given to her that's unpleasant? Positive. Something taken away that is pleasant. Now, tastes bad, that's given something unpleasant. So this would be a positive punishment. All right. Now we have Vincent here, who has to do his own laundry several times in the past month. He forgot and had to wear dirty clothes to class. Classmates told him that he smelled like lizard butt, which he did not like. As a result, Vincent has been doing his laundry more often. All right there, more often. There's a reinforcement here. So we got to cross out our punishments here. All right, now the trick is positive reinforcement, is he getting something pleasant? Negative reinforcement, is he getting out of something unpleasant? Now he didn't like. What didn't he like? He didn't like that his friends were calling him names, you know, being called lizard butt, not my idea of fun. So since he's getting out of that, getting away from something he doesn't like, that has to be a negative reinforcement. Remember, the key is focus on the behaviors, only on the behaviors given. Then you'll be able to figure out if it's a reinforcement or a punishment, and then what kind. Okay, well, here we go. In operant conditioning, a consequence that increases the likelihood of a behavior increases. Always a reinforcement. Punishment always decreases. Harold here. Harold used to forget to return his library books on time. Then his mother started making him clean the toilets, which he hates doing, every time he returns a book late. As a result, Harold forgets less often. There we go, less often, so we know there's a punishment in there. Okay, forgets less often to return his books anymore. So punishment, so bye-bye reinforcements. We're going for a punishment. Now what's his punishment? Which is right here. Making him clean the toilets, which he hates doing. So he has to do something that he doesn't like, that he finds unpleasant. And when it's applied, it's a positive punishment. And then our last one, which is Franny. Franny cries loudly when her mom won't buy her candy. When Franny's mom buys her some candy, she stops crying. As a result, Franny's mom buys her candy more frequently and more frequently. So here, Franny's mom. How is Franny's mom being conditioned? And the more frequently, that means it has to be a reinforcement, so bye-bye punishments. And is she doing it to like reward her daughter for doing something that she likes? Nah. She's actually doing it so she doesn't have to listen to her child whine. That would be a negative reinforcement. So she gets out of listening to her child whine. If we look at this from Franny's point of view, Franny cries, she gets candy. So then every time Franny cries, she gets candy, she's going to cry more often because in her case, for Franny, not Franny's mom like we did here, Franny is getting a positive reinforcement because every time she cries, she gets something that she likes. So she's going to be crying more often in order to get that treat, that candy. So this is operant conditioning. Remember, there we go, let me pull this back. Remember, the key things, the reinforcements always increase behavior. The punishments always decrease behavior. And then you just have to figure out if something is being given, which is positive, or if something is being removed, which is negative. And hopefully, this was helpful. And you'll understand operant conditioning even better. Thank you. Bye.